where this goes. Hopefully somebody's going to join, and then that'll make the whole thing interesting. Sorry for the delay. I just had to do some admin tasks. In the meantime, let's see what's happening with David and Wiegand. So basically, Wiegand has to win this game and also win the next one to have any chance of winning the title. It's only between Wiegand and Elda, the championship right now. Any chance of winning is between them two. If David Elda wins this game, obviously he's going to be the champ. But then let's see what happens. So David Elda has no cake, but did he choose to play? Yeah, he did play no cake. Then what happens? Cantref, yeah, that's a good tile turn over there. Exertive. Was there an E for exertive? Exertive didn't have an E anywhere, so unfortunately couldn't play exertive. Let's see. So he played Vex, fairly straightforward move that. Could have played Glow. Yep, Glow. Yeah, I think he played 18 afterwards. Let's see what happened after that. Obviously, I think Dave probably will have to change. Yeah, he exchanged. He exchanged a whole lot. Didn't even hang on to a single letter as a backup for any potential bonuses or even a buffer against too many vowels or consonants. So this is Eldar's rack. I don't know what the best move is. I haven't analyzed it using an analyzer of any sorts. He could play Jays or he played Hajj. Okay, that's definitely the best move. He's hanging on TAYS. Um, what he's going to do, Jawan. Okay, so David Vegan has a Jawan on his rack to play. Um, so I guess that's a good move. A Jawan. Yep, that's it. Um, is there a bonus for David there with two E's, two I's? Is that combination? I don't think there's a bonus. Idealize needs an A. I don't think there's a bonus there. No, that track doesn't have a bonus. So don't know what's going to happen there. So whose rack is it? This is really confusing. Oh, this is actually David's rack. Sorry, the previous rack was actually Dave's rack. This is David Elda's rack. Both of them called David. So this is David Elda's rack. I'm going to start referring to Elda and both of their surnames. So Elda doesn't have a bingo on its own. Neither is there an 8 that can fit. So he's going to have to dump the AY. Yeah, Rhea, RYA and Tor. Or maybe he could be a bit more adventurous and open up as well, another lane somewhere. He can play Yed, but he doesn't have the D for the Diad hook. He could play Yed here, but don't think that's a good idea. Um, let's see what everybody else is saying. I wonder what David's going to do. Elda's going to do here. Right. Testing. We're coming through. Yep. So he could do Yed, but he doesn't have the D. That's a very adventurous move. Um, he does have an opening here, 7-letter opening. He doesn't need to go overboard in terms of finding another lane. I guess he could do AY and buy this time. I mean, it would be nice if you could just play the Y somewhere, but there are 4 U's. In case he gets a U with the satire, that's going to be a problem. Let me bring up a notepad here. Just to type stuff out. I mean, I could hide all of this here. It's taking way too much space. Um, yeah, I think that's good. So let's see what Dave's going to do. I can probably commentate on another game as well while David Elder is deciding on a move. Um, Let me commentate on Thatcher's game as well. Let me open up all top three tables. That way we can commentate simultaneously on all three games. I think three is probably maximum that I could do. I probably can have a peep at another game, maybe Nigel's game on table 5. But I'll try and manage three. If I'm doing okay, let me uh, do another one. But let's see what happened here. I didn't quite follow what happened from the start. Let's go back from the start with Thatcher's game. I'm really impressed with Thatcher. Always a top competitor, always around the top tables. I mean, Thatcher's a good player, but he's very good mentally, making good use of the vocabulary that he has. I have a feeling a couple of the other Thai players are slightly better than Thatcher in terms of vocabulary, but Thatcher's mentality, ice cold mentality, always gets him over the line. I feel Napat and Panupol are probably better in terms of their vocabulary, but Thatcher is such a good competitor when it comes to long tournaments. Ooh, that's such a aggressive move there by Thatcher. Instead of yeah, he's banking on all of those floaters. He's choosing to hang on to enter. Very aggressive move. Um, roll. Yep, he's rewarded with a bingo now. He didn't go with overnet down here, which may have been a bit better because you just don't want to give all of those floaters. Overnet here, maybe he wasn't sure of route. That's better down, definitely better down there because he's just not giving away all those floaters. But now he's going to give his slingers away. Yep. Which could have been avoided if he had played. He could play a lovely parallel play with booty. Yep. Yeah. It can be one of many things, booty. But traditional meaning is, of course, plunder when pirates or robbers rob someone. The objects or the treasure that they plundered is called booty. Deer by Joshua. Okay, so this is Thatcher's move now. I wonder what he's going to do. No real outlet in terms of really taking the game away from either player. Nobody has an outright chance right now with what I'm seeing. No blanks or S's on the brack, so neither a power tile, a high scoring power tile. Let's get back to David's game. Oh my gosh, he's gone and done that. That's really interesting. Why would he want to kill that lane? He really shouldn't have killed that lane. Because if Wiegand blocks that other lane, David, well, obviously he has a glow as well. Okay, he's got two lanes. He's got the glow lane, and well, so Wiegand. Okay, Wiegand doesn't block that glow lane. He gets a score. Like I said to you, there was a risk he was going to pick up the U. There were 4 U's, but thankfully Wiegand's given him a nice floater. He's going to play myriads. But I warned you before that there were 4 U's, and that if Elder played played one letter, he could pick up the U. And yeah, but luckily he's got the 8-letter bonus. I probably think playing AY, ensuring all the lanes are open. He should have played AY and scored a bit more. He would have scored 20, almost 20 there for AY, 21. And 5 only scores 8. Plus he preserves all 4 bingo lanes. Bingo lane parallel to 18, bingo lane above hooking on to glow and a glow, and bingo lane below the F. So Elder's definitely got a bingo. Let's see what happened here. Moodily. Ooh, that's a nice tile turnover by Tacha. Okay, so Josh has the blank now, but unfortunately he can't. He has the S as well. There's nothing unfortunate about it, but the only thing is that he doesn't have a bonus right away. So wonder what Joss is going to do. The game is a bit cagey. It's all on that middle right hand side of the board. Um, you can't quite spread out to the left hand side of the board, the top left, especially with the Q stopping all possibilities of the game branching out in the top left. But the bottom right, the bottom left, there's a chance of it progressing that way. Let's see the game between Madhav and Harshan, how that turned out. Mavin, such a lovely bird by Harshan. Key, some clunky tiles by wasn't there a fancy five that he could do? Yogic. I think he should have played Yogic. Sig actually scores quite well, so yes, Sig is actually a good move. I don't think there is a funny analog. Nope, there is no funny eight there. Cigar, I guess. Cigar. There's no eight there as well. For Madhav, he played Korea. For Harshan, okay, he could have played Cigar. Okay, now obviously Madhav's played the bonus, and Harshan's having a tough wreck. He can't do A radio for a good score, so I'm not too sure what Harshan is going to do. So Madhav's going to do here. He played Ridier, okay, and now a good spot there. Yojan, it has a lovely air hook for Yojana, so that's something to look out for. So Harshan then plays Luau. Yep, with the Yojana hook, and then Madhav plays Brew for some good score. He could have been a bit more bonus. He could have gone a bonus hunt there. He's almost some really good tiles there, but he's lost all of his consonants. Maybe that's the way to go to build up on build up on a nice lead. Now Harshan's got the blank, but unfortunately, I don't think there is a bonus. If there was an E somewhere, he could play teeny bop, or a T, floating T, or a E would have given him teeny bop. Should he? Does he have anything here? Through the a four timer, even a non-bonus four timer? I don't think so. Don't know what he's going to do. Let's see. Let's go back to the other game. Muriel must have been. Oh, he played Semitar. He didn't play. Very good actually. Semitar is actually better because you're not allowing the game to flow into the right hand side of the board. You're keeping everything congested on the top left side of the board. Already there's only a couple of lanes above Semitar for bingos, or only the floating S. So that's a very good defensive play by Elta there, not allowing the game to branch out onto the right-hand side of the board. So that's good. Let's see what happened here in Thatcher's game. So that move with the blank, he played Horny. Okay, setting up for the Z. And Cilium is a very good spot. The singular of Cilia, everyone knows Cilia as a vowel jump in Scrabble, but Cilium is a very good dump there. Okay, unfortunately, I mean, it's not too unfortunate. Joshua has the blank, but he doesn't have an outright move here. There's no move through that I, that triple word square on column H. So don't know what he's going to do. All right, I missed a couple of turns here. Let's see what happened after Semitar. He played Pip hanging on to Reds, which is a good move. He's opening up for he's hoping to get a bingo. Now I'm thinking what David probably has done there with the Y. He's blocked out the bottom right part of the board with that 5, but I don't know whether that was a foresight or whether that was fortuitous right now for David in terms of blocking that Y, blocking that cantref parallel to cantref, that F, attaching something onto that F. But Pip, and then David's played Jeff because he can't actually. Elder's played Jeff. He can't actually block that parallel play above Pep. He doesn't have the right vowel, an A or an O, so he's just biding his time. He's gone for Jeff, which is very interesting. He's chosen to hang on to HSDM, which is good synergy with those letters instead of playing something like. But actually, Jeff actually prevents a parallel play above it, whereas him allows a parallel play. So that's also good thinking, good defensive play by David Elder. The only bonus lane now for vegan is above the R. There's no other bingo lane, unless obviously there are 9-letter bingo lanes. So very defensive there by Elda. Yep. So Harshan has played ploy. Be interesting to see if there was anything that he missed. Just want to see. I try not to look at the analyzer because let's keep everything interesting. Oh my gosh, there's Penny Boy. It's probably Nigel's only one out of the whole field who could probably spot that word there, Penny Boy. But all right, that's very interesting. Okay, something's just happened right now. Wait 1 second. So he's chosen to take out that lane. Madhav chosen to take out that lane. Yes, now Harshan does have a couple of bingos, but unfortunately he has no place. I don't think there's a bonus through that A with what he has right now on his rack. I'm not looking at the analyzer intentionally. Oh wow, the raw bond. Yep, that's a yeah. I missed that. It's a good spot. That's a very good spot. Raw bond, very good spot. So now Madhav is under pressure. Madhav almost had womanize with the W down there. Let's see what's happened here. Let's see what happened. Pep and then Jeff. And then, yes, so Vegan doesn't quite have a bonus there, but he's creating lanes for himself with the ape hook there above on that first row. He has 2 rows now to bingo, but David's probably going to block both the lanes because those are the only 2 places where a potential bonus could come down. Yep, that's right. That's exactly, yep, a good move. He's blocked both the lanes. He still has the M lane on that lane, row 1, but that's good defensive play. So Wigan's going to play Mariners now for 86 points. Wonder what Madhav's going to do here. So Madhav is still in that move with the Z. I think Madhav should just play Hizen. Should he just play Hizen? Um, 1 second. I'm running out of battery. I'm going to have to change something around here. 1 second. I'm running out of battery. Sorry, guys. I just had to have deal with something technical. All right. Hopefully that will work out. Right. Where are we? Yeah, Mariners came down, and so Vegan's only 22 points behind. He may have picked the blank. He picked up 7 new tiles. So it's Elda's turn now. Helda, where could he score? There are no obvious scoring opportunities on this board. Don't know whether he should just block that S column on row O, that final column. Whether that's something he could do. Let's see what. Okay, so Josh has gone and done Zo, just the Zo, because he's probably had. Not Josh, Madhav's done Zo. He's only 13 points behind. Harshan has these tiles. Let's see what Thatcher's games. What's happened in Thatcher's game. So yeah, at that point he didn't have anything through that eye, so he just played blue. That's very interesting. He lost his only vowel there to play blue. That's very interesting by Josh. It's a very interesting play. He really should have tried to open us something here. Maybe he should have played whiz or something. Maybe the Z's not gonna. But this is a close board. Maybe holding on to that Z for a bit longer, maybe worthwhile. Since it's a close board, you're going to have more turns, so you don't need to rush into your bonus. All boards are, well, David's and Touches, Vegans and Touches games are quite cagey. But let's see, Madhav's game's quite open. Madhav and Harshan's game are quite open. Um, no clear winner here as yet to be predicted. I can't predict a clear winner here based on their racks right now. There's lots to play for. The X and the S still unseen. Two S's. Walkers, very nice spot by Harshan. A new word, CSW24 word, used in common parlance these days with the leftist movement. A slightly condescending term to describe the leftist movement and their beliefs to be woke. Oh, somebody's joined me. Oh, hi, Simon. I'm doing a live stream as well on YouTube. Simon's from Uganda. If you want, you can say something as well. I'll share the screen as well, Simon. 1 second. I'm commenting on 3 screens. So, all right. All right. So
Yeah. Good morning, Scrubbleman. Good morning, Scrubbleman.
Good morning. Hello. Thanks for joining us yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So so you know the Causeway tournament, right? Is happening right now in.
Yeah.
Do you
I've
know
been
about the
following
cause?
it.
Yeah. So I'm just commenting on the top 3 tables. David Wagan, David Elder, um, and Thatcher and Harshan as well. Table 3. So
Okay.
David's gone and played host. That's very interesting. With the blank unseen, there's a ghost hook. Obviously, I think that's the only host hook for ghost. For host, ghost hook. So the blank could be played in front of the. So he doesn't have the blank. That's a very bold move. He's probably playing with Vegan there, just giving him a slight something to ponder. Think whether Elder has the blank or not with a ghost hook. Let's look at Josh's game. Okay. It's pretty cagey, this game. Thatcher's keeping the game nice and locked up. No, Josh has actually gone back in the lead. Like I said, saving that Z on a block board like this actually worked in Josh's favor. I thought he should have played Wiz when he played blue about 2-3 turns before. But I think on a close board, it's worth hanging on to the um, power tiles, the heavy high scoring power tiles. Let's see what's happened in Madhav's game. So when Madhav had a very promising bingo rack, he could have dumped the eye and hoped to get a bingo, but he's gone for the score. He played mine, and Harshan doesn't has only 1 ball. He played Yojanas, and he has a good move. Now Madhav needs a U or an I for 8, but unfortunately the board's quite blocked up for 8s. It still has lanes for 7s, but he can't get the L there and the V. It would be nice for Madhav to get the V and the L, a word with a V, but that connecting to that L. Madhav's under some pressure now. Only the X to really worry about in terms of the power tiles. Let's go back to Vegans and Elders game. So after host, now the game's wide open now. So Vegan really isn't afraid of that potential blank risk. He didn't get faced by the host move with the potential G hook. There are no G's. So he probably thought David has the blank, or maybe that was a bluff. So he thought it was a bluff, and now David's yeah, they're playing fire with fire. David's also just throwing away tiles, hoping to get that blank. Okay, there's no indication by either player. David just left a little bit of doubt there in David Elder, Wigan's mind, that he may have had the blank, but he went for score now. Dory should take an S. I'm pretty sure it takes an S. Dory, does it not? Yeah, it does. Yeah. So okay, now it's interesting. Now Wiegand has the blank, but spaces are running out. So when he played Dory, when Elsa played Dory, that knocked out all the floaters along a wise. But now the only hope for Wiegand is to score a bingo through the last 5 tiles of Mariners, or hopefully get a bingo that makes the blank the G. Those are the only 2 ways he's going to, or maybe even make the blank an S. So there are options for Wiegand, but the margin's a bit, yeah, the margin is getting a bit now. He could play a lop and hope to pick up a G. He could hope to pick up an I. If he picks an A, no, he could only bingo there with the G, with the E. If he picks up an E, oof. Yeah, it is tricky by playing lop. He would ideally would love to play 2 Ls, but let's see. Let's see what's happening in Chacha's game. Oh, Fipple, such a beautiful play. Fipples. Let me figure out where we left off there. He played Rez, Josh. And then Adax is a very, 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 actually Rez was played by, yeah, and then Tacha played Adax. Very aggressive play. And such a nice move that Fipples. Very aggressive play, Adax there. Plays Fipples. So Thatcher's now behind. Thatcher's going to get a big score with Neef or Neef, N-I-E-F. It's a fairly straightforward move. Now let's watch what Josh is going to do. So Josh is still ahead. The board's quite blocked. There is a floating I and a D there on row 1 and 2. Except back to Harshan's game. Let's see what's happened here. Okay, so Madhav still on that volition and volution move. He still hasn't made up his mind because he has little options now. The lanes are all getting eaten up. There's a mine, obviously, with that bingo lane on row 2. And there are a couple of lanes parallel to the more Vocust and Stung, but Madhav doesn't have any straightforward tiles that he could potentially use to bingo. All right, let's go back to Dave's game. Yeah, he's really thinking about this move, Wiegand. Yeah, it's now people are really taking their time in the last few moves. So what Josh is now fearing is those 2 floaters on row 1 and 2. He's really wanting to block those. Maybe even he would just end up playing jive, but there are 3 A's there, so he might not want to. He might want to play Jai actually, but I mean he should also try and finish up some tiles, because if he is able to finish some tiles, that leaves less options for Josh to for Thatcher to mount a comeback. So it leaves him less. So I wouldn't be surprised even if Josh played jives, leaving only 2 tiles, because the more tiles you leave, the more complications that can cause him. So yes, so Wiegand is still on this move. He's still not sure what he's going to do. Madhav even is still on this move. He's still not quite sure. Everyone's quite pensive right now at this moment, because these are very crucial moves. Madhav having to decide what letters to hang on to give him the best chance of a bingo without taking out any of his bingo lanes, available bingo lanes. So very tricky for Madhav. Yes, like as I predicted, he really wanted to block that. He didn't want to burn that S. That may have enabled the termination, the end of the game, a haste end to the game would have brought about the haste end to the game. But unfortunately, but he just thought, hang on to that S is going to be helpful. So he has killed that opening. Now the only lane for Tacha to bingo is at N. Um, is at N on that Neef on column A15. That's the only place he could bingo. Obviously, with a similar letter word, there are 9 letter word options as well, but even those are few and far between. URFE. I mean, there are bingos ending with a P, but don't think there's anything there. So now Tacha has to keep his options open. He needs to create another bingo lane, or else there's no way he could break out of this little blockage here. There's nothing he could do there because there are no 2 letter words with C. There's nothing that can work with the J and the C for him to break out there. So Tacha's options are very limited. Unless there are only 3 vowels, so there's no way he can play something like nap. He's got to be really lucky to have bingo options after playing nap. So he really needs to create 2 bingo lanes for Tacha, or else the game is over. Tacha has to bingo, or else he's going to lose. Um, so Tacha's going to play that. I don't know whether that's wise of him to do. Um, he could have actually gone, but I don't know whether he had any options there. Because Tacha didn't see the blank, so what he thought was he doesn't want to get smashed here. So he just told himself he doesn't want to get smashed. So he's emptied the bag. So out Eaton is going to be played now by Josh, and Josh is going to have an easy victory. Yes, so as I predicted, there are bingo options for Wiegand through the S. If he gets the A or the I, he would have Starling. With the I don't think he has anything there. Sterling is not there with the I, which is a place in Ireland. But it does leave a little bit of a quandary for Elder as to which opening he should be blocking. So based on the unseen tile, it's very difficult to predict that for Elder to predict which opening he should be blocking. Very difficult here. He could ideally, I think he should just go for rebuild and close up as many lanes as possible, because by leaving the door open from, like, in case he didn't empty the bag, there are more opportunities for David Wiegand to potentially fish again. Or so there's really, it's very difficult for Elder to block all 4, potentially 5 or 6 lanes with the host here, the S hook here, and all these floaters in one go. He can't kill all those birds with one stone. So the better option probably would to just empty the bag and potentially killing a bingo lane here also with the S hook. If the bingo was meant to end with the S, so the S was the third, the penultimate or the 5th letter, he would have killed bingo lane here as well. If the S was the 4th letter, he could still, no, if the 5th, S is the 5th, he could still bingo here. So the bingo, if it's a 6, X on the 6th to the 7th position, he kills the bingo here. Plus he kills the bingo lane with the S. And more importantly, he empties the bag. So there are no more complications to fear for Elder to fear. So yes, so Madhav's gone and done. Let's see what Man's got done. So he, with that rack, he went and did, so he's preserving all his bingo lanes. Harshan played Dehorter, and that's game over for Madhav. Yep, Harshan's played Dehorter. So that's the correct thing to do. Madhav preserved all the bingo lanes, but there was very, hoping to get the A. Yes, that's, is that what he's done there? Rebuilds? No. So I think rebuild probably gives him the best chance of winning. because in a situation like this, you just don't want to leave even one tile in the bag, because there are so many bingos on this bingo lanes on this board, that even if he leaves one tile in the bag, Weekend has a few openings that he could, multiple openings through which he could bingo and out bingo. So I think what David Elder should do here is just empty the bag, and tell himself, if Vegan's gonna win through an amazing play, because Vegan would have had that. There's no way David's going to win whether he avoids the out bingo. I think as long as David Vegan plays the bingo, whether David Vegan out bingos or whether there are tiles, there we go. That's the move. That's it. That's a correct move. That's a correct move, because you need to just empty the bag and tell yourself, if he's going to bingo through the other floaters, he's just going to bingo. So David Vegan now has these letters. Yes, he did block off. What did Elder block from Vegan's potential last rack bingo? Is there a nine-letter word, frontlier? Ooh, I'm not too sure. I don't think David Elder blocked any retonal through the R. Is there a bonus to the S tonsillar? I don't think there's a bonus beginning with that S there. Nostril didn't fit, because nostril, the S is a third letter. If the S was the fourth letter, it would have fitted. Nothing that can fit here, because the G, the hook for that. Don't think that's a bingo that starts with the I, with that combination of eight letters. Merliton, Trioline, nothing to the N. Frontlier. Frontlier, is that a word? Don't know. I didn't check the analyzer. Is that frontlier? Nope, there's no frontlier. So that's it. So Elder's won the game, barring some catastrophe. I don't think, that sort of thing's going to happen. But that's a good move, rebuild. So this is a lost cause now for Madhav. He really had to think a lot on that move when he had volition minus the I, because he really had to think a lot on that move, because he didn't want to block himself. Plus, there's very little chance of outscoring unless he had a really good move. Did he have? No, there's no real obvious move. Even if he gets the X based on this lead, it would have been difficult for Madhav to mount a comeback. Yeah, so David's won this game, so that's very good. That's good play. Very good defensive play by David. I really liked some of his moves. When he played Jeff, he ensured he killed the. He didn't play. He ensured that there was no parallel play possible through above the Jeff. So very good defensive play. I really want to question him over the fact that why he played F5. Did he foresee a very blocked board? Because he fairly certain of his bingo through the glow hook? Because he really should have played a Y here for the score. But extra 13 points. And he didn't have to kill that other bingo lane that he had down there. But so Scimitar was so all of his defensive moves started off with Scimitar, because he could have played Muriates opening up the right hand side of the board. He didn't. He didn't play any. He didn't play him. He played Jeff, so that he stops the parallel play along Scimitar or Jeff, and also along that Pip above Pip. He stops the parallel play there too. Now he stops the parallel play through that ape on the triple word square lane on lane one, row one, and also he stops the parallel play through words parallel to Scimitar. He does give that opener the floating M, through which Dave Vegan scored Mariners. So that's a bit of a little mind game there. Probably David played on Dave Vegan, playing host, maybe making Vegan think that he had the G or the blank for the ghost hook. There are no G's left. Very positive play by Vegan, throwing some tiles. Very positive play by even David, because he could have been afraid of the Doris hook. But the only way that hook's going to be utilized is with the blank. And then, Vegan strength for a bonus there at the end. Very good move. Rebuild. Yep. Okay, that's very interesting. So all games have probably come to their conclusion. Yeah, this game's a write-off for Harsh, and Harsh is going to win that game. Let's see if there are any more games that I can comment. Let's see what happened to. I'm really curious to know what happens to Mr. Richards. Yep, as expected, Nigel Richards. He's going to end up in the top five. You can't keep the guy away. He's going to sneak in there somehow. So big win. Testing, testing one, testing one, two, three. Yeah, it should be coming in through this. The audio should be working on the screen as well. All right, let's see what happened here. Um, so we played Luxor. Is there a bonus there from Inhaler? Yeah, there's Inhaler. Yep, Inhaled as well. Inhaler may have been better, bit more defensive with the R there. Yeah, Inhaled is not good. Oh my gosh. Inhaler got challenged. Okay.
Inhaler is actually not. Inhaled is not good. It's only inhaler. Okie dokie. Um, right, I'm slightly losing my way here. Sorry. Just 1 second. I'm just setting myself up for all of the issues that I'm facing. It's a fairly straightforward win for Nigel here. Let me look at another game. Let's see. Are there any games? Any other games that are still in progress? So Dave's actually won the championship. So well done, Dave, because Dave just won this game. David Elder. David Elder just won this game. So his lead is unsurmountable. Tacha won his game as well. Yeah. So David, is it 34? Yeah. So David Elder's lead is insurmountable because Tacha won his game, but there's a win and a half lead between Elder and Tacha, and Wigan's 2 games behind. And so, yeah, neither Harshan or Madhav could, yeah, go above David. Nope, they're on 21. Then 22 wins. No, so yeah, David's won the tournament. Okay, so the results are coming in. So, David, is he going to be Gibsonized? Wonder what's going to happen. David's probably going to be Gibsonized with someone who's not in line for a prize money, not in line for yeah. So that's what's going to happen. So David's not going to play anyone who potentially could end up in the top 10. So he's going to play someone like number 18 or 19 who have no chance of finishing in the top 10, maybe even 17. The highest ranked player who potentially cannot finish within the top 10. Right. Let's look at some other games. Um, is there another interesting game that we could look at? Um, he's playing vegan again. How does that happen? Oh, they've probably not dealt with that little link there. They haven't entered the score. Did you say something, sir? Okay, no worries. Thanks, Simon, for joining. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining us for a few moments. You could have said something. I don't know whether it made sense, whatever I was saying. Um, right. Let's look at a few more. Let's do a little recap on the game that Why is it live between the two Daves? Let's do a little recap. So this is the key game which decided the championships. Fairly straightforward moves. The first two exertive if there was a loose R or a I. Um, yeah, fairly straightforward moves. These 18 fairly straightforward move. A good exchange. He didn't want to hold on to an I. Well, it's a block board. Better to rely on the power tiles to take you through. Hajj, fairly straightforward move. A Jovan, fairly straightforward move. This is the most curious move for me. I don't know whether David Eldar missed this move here, or was this foresight in terms of knowing very well that he's going to get the bingo either through the hook with the aglow or parallel to 18, that he had this foresight to block off that lane. I don't know. Very, very interesting move as to why he played the Y there. I was already predicting that U risk, but luckily for Elder, he has the floating M. But this is the defensive masterclass by Elder. He ensured that nothing branched out of that whole little block there, that whole little those words there, Pip, Jeff, or Semita. There's the only bingo lane is through that parallel to that R, hooking onto that R, connecting onto that R. Obviously, there's this A hook as well, A floater through no cakes. Definitely, that's something to look out for as well. It's not completely blocked, but most of the dangerous bingo lanes, David Elda consistently block Motus. Very good defensive play. And very interesting play host that, knowing well that the blank still unseen could have been a little bit of a decoy move there to get Vegan thinking that he may have the blank to be used as the G. So it's fairly straightforward move that advised to create more openings. Vegan's only 17 points behind at this point, but with this move, Vegan definitely now has the bingo to stand any chance of winning, and he thought long and hard there, and he played the L, which is the right thing to do. He could have opted for Lop. I don't know why he didn't go for Lop. Whether Zol was there anything, he could have actually kept this ER lane undisturbed, even up for a potential 9. But I mean, that's just academic. Those 3 points right now to discuss. Yeah, correct move by Elda. Rebuilt. I was saying that all along. Yeah, so that's very interesting. Even Madhav's game. Let's look at Madhav's game for a bit. Very good play by Harshan there. Maven, fairly straightforward. Sig is also fairly straightforward, despite the clunky tiles. Do you know whether Sigar is a better move there for better score? Creolize, sorry. Was that a mistake? Because I saw the G there. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe he had the D instead of the G. That was a mistype there. Because I'm seeing the D on the subsequent move after Siga on Korea, on Madhav's rack there, on Harshan's rack. So that may have been a mistype. So that could, yeah. Plays Ridi, played Yojan, Luav by Harshan. Do you know whether that was a better move there? Yeah, Brew. Okay, he went for score. Webb's really, really risky. He doesn't have any of the S's. He's taking a slight chance for a bonus with Webb. Penny. What was the bingo again? Penny Boy. Penny Boy. Wow, this is probably one of the least probable bingos that anyone could study. Double N, double Y. 6 consonants. Good move by Harshan that really thrusted him way forward. Yeah, it's a very tricky move here. He almost had a bonus. He could think of maybe dumping the I, but yeah, there are some bingos. Amniot, one time even parallel to Rawbone. So, but if Harshan chooses to, I think in one fell swoop, Harshan could block 2 openings here. If he plays something here and then all of that effort to work towards that bonus. Sacrificing score would have been futile, but he's don't know, very difficult to, because none of the big bonuses connect onto that U. Amniote one time that he could have potentially picked. Even emotion doesn't fit here. If he potentially dumped that I, Mother really had to go for score there. Yeah, Mother thought long and hard about this move. He just had to hope that something would fall his way. A mine or I mine. Obviously, the I mine hook is also there, but none of them worked. Yeah, no bingo there. So okay. Yeah, Josh's game was also very cagey. Very, in fact, the cagiest out of the three games. Tacha's game, I'm sorry, Harshan's game was quite open. David's game was quite a bit cagey, but not too much. But this one really was cagey. Yeah, Tacha throwing down the gauntlet with the UR move. Not the most promising bingo rack. He should have played overnet here because he could have stopped the all those photos being exposed. Maybe Tacha's by habit a very open player. Booty, fairly straightforward move. Dia, very nice move. That's why you need to learn your fives, people. Yeah, 35 points and a nice vowel jump. It's not exactly a vowel jump with four vowels on a five-letter word, but these are the type of words you need to know to get to that next level in terms of your Scrabble play. Lots of players know bingos. Lots of players boast the fact that they know 10k, 15k bingos, sevens and eights, but they don't take the time to study these weird fives. See, that five really helped him out there. So Josh is setting up for that Z hook. Now Josh got a very harsh pickup there. So he didn't actually play the Z at that moment. He's hoping to get a good score from the Z, which is I think the correct thing to do because the board's a bit cagey, and so you're going to end up having more moves in a game like this. So therefore, you're going to probably end up getting a good score, a good reward for your Z. Even in this moment, he can't do anything much with his Z. He could have played Frizz there, but that really doesn't achieve much. He's blocking that bingo lane he may need with his blank, and so Tacha's just biding his time. So that gave him a good opening for Rez. And now Tacha made a very bold move here. Wonder what he thought about this, what he was thinking when he made this move. He could have just played Axe and played defensive, but he went really, really aggressive there. And then there's a very, very good move here. Fipples. Not many people would know this move unless it's a very common word. I don't think so. So Tacha now is still only 17 behind, but Josh correctly blocks those two floating D's and the I. Now Tacha could have gone for Brook and gone for something like, there's no way he could dump his K and also create an opening, create a floater, another floater. So Tacha probably thought, I'm going to shut up shop here. I'm going to preserve my lead, preserve my um, preserve my spread instead of it being an outright smash. Yeah. All right, we are all waiting for the next round. Let's see what's going to happen. So let's look at the standings again. Yeah, so David's the winner now. He definitely has to be Gibsonized, or else he would have some influence over who ends up where and who gets what prize money. So that's too much power for David Elder to have. So it's better for him to be Gibsonized. And any other interesting matchups? So Harshan versus Panupal is going to be interesting. Madhav, such a sad situation. He was in the mix, top two or three tables for nearly half the tournament, but now he's slipping down the table. Very, very well done by this young Indian player. He's only 16, I think. Very nice to see some youth players getting in the mix with the top brass of Scrabble overall, because there was a season for about 8-10 years with the youth players. They weren't quite hitting the high water marks like the Eldars and Austin Shins did when they were youth players. But it's really nice to see some youth players getting into the mix in terms of yeah, in terms of fighting for titles overall, not just amongst the youth. So yeah, Madhav versus Nigel is going to be interesting. So Nigel has an outside chance of ending up in the top five. No, I don't think so. No, because either Harshan or yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think no, Nigel's not going to end up top five. So it's definitely going to be yeah, Nigel's definitely not going to end up top five. No way. So the matchups may be a bit different. Maybe it's going to be Dev versus Josh for to decide who's second and who's third. Tacha versus Harshan for to decide who's fourth and fifth, and maybe fourth, because Tacha does have a risk of being placed sixth or seventh even if Nigel, if Tacha loses, and yeah, Tacha could even end up playing, being placed seventh. Yeah, so let's watch out for that. Maybe even sixth, maybe not seventh. Harshan wins, Panupol wins. Yeah, Tacha's going to be sixth. The worst that could happen to Tacha is going to be sixth. Yeah. So Nigel's probably going to actually play Ben. All right. So it's taking a while before they come up with the draws. Oh yes, that's right. Um, they have started the games. As I mentioned, David Elder has been Gibsonized, and where is Elder playing? He's actually not playing anyone. Has he? Has he been given a bye? Maybe there are two players. One player just stepped out of the tournament. There was a bye, and then David Elder doesn't even play the last. Needs to even play the last game. All right, so let's watch Touch's game against Harshan, which is active, to decide who's third. All right, let me start commentating. So this is Harshan's rack apparently. I guess he just needs to change the clunky consonants there. J, G, M, W. First move bonus for Josh. Knight or Nittery. Spinon for Madhav. I hope he spots that. Spinon or Pension, of course, Pension. Spinon is actually a better move because it doesn't take a S. So cheeky move there by Madhav because it doesn't take an S. It's actually a blocker. I'm pretty sure about that. Yep, that's right. It didn't take the second S, so it's a very cheeky move. So obviously Panupal may definitely he's gonna know that doesn't take an S. Or maybe even maybe he doesn't. Maybe it would be an oversight. So Erinite or Nittery to come down here. Why are they all being delayed here? So the last game, what do people have? Well, Josh, I'll just have the rankings up here as well. So what can happen? So let's see whether bingo's been played. Who's played what? Nothing's happening. Okay, spin on and then fishy. What happened there? Yep, fishy is a move there. Could he get anything with the X? No. Foxy. Maybe some people could say Foxy is a move. Fishy is better. Good move. Let's see what's happened here. So this is mother's letter now. These are mother's letters now. Um, Madhav could just play hurt and really make it quite cagey. Yeah, Madhav could even think of playing hurt. If he plays hurt, the game becomes quite cagey. Hurt or Ruth? Maybe even Ruth is better, but hurt is more defensive. I'm hearing all these. So Harshan's definitely changed. Let's see what's happening. Yep, that's right. That's a good defensive play by Madhav. Keep things nice and tight on a very crucial game. Keeping things cagey on these very crucial games is quite wise because really puts the pressure to first create the opening before even a comeback could be mounted. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here. Ooh, this is a very cagey game. First move, that was wild. Yep, both going for tile turnover. Hawks is fairly the straightforward move here. Right, what happened here? Faintest, yeah, good tile turnover there on the first move. See what happened to Madhav's game. It's quite cagey, that game. Hurt. Ooh. Now Madhav has Crotala. Unfortunately, it has no place that could be played. The Crotala, that bird. Let's see what Madhav's going to do. Is he going to keep continuing to play? He can play Chow, rather. Maybe he could do. He really doesn't need to open up. He really needs to keep things tight. Kola is fairly. Oh, Kola really blasted open the board now, because they've got the HCH hooks that he could take. Really tough wreck now for Panupol. So as expected, Hori was played. Hawks was played, and then Hori. Yeah, fairly straightforward move there. Could have even played Hoyle or Hale, but Hori definitely is the move because of the high score. So now I think Josh has a bonus here. Josh has Latinas parallel to Wild. Wonder what's going to happen there. That's the only bonus. So that's fairly straightforward move. Nasality, of course, there's nasality as well. Maybe that's better. Yeah, it's not as open as Latinas. Nasality is better. Let's see what happened here. So Madhav actually has picked up a bonus. So instead of changing, yeah, he really didn't need to change there. He's got Talak there. Instead of changing, Panupal chose to go for score. So Rabatine by Madhav. So this is Harshan's game. Let's see what happened here. So Touch has gone for a very aggressive off opening. Ooh, Touch has got a bit unlucky there. Let's see what else is happening. Um, Hold on. I saw a bonus. Why wasn't the bonus played? Oh, maybe it was a mistype. Sorry, maybe that was a mistype. I thought I saw a bonus on somebody's wreck. Talak, and then ooh, Madhav's really playing open there. He really doesn't need to be this open. Could have been a bit more conservative given the lead he has. Because of the gore opening below, he's actually gone for broke, Madhav. So there is no bonus here um, for Panupol. Nazarity, yep, Nazarity is the correct move. Says is a very good move. So Thatcher actually didn't need a bonus there. He could. So there's bead roll for Harshan, but unfortunately there are no. There isn't a floating E. Yes, as expected, that D hook for God came into play. So Madhav actually had amateur. Is that how you pronounce it? If there was a loose E. Hmm. Some other moves being played. Ball yard, such a nice play. Such a nice play by Harshan. Very nice play. Yeah, getting rid of all of those clunky tiles to give himself a chance to get those blanks. All right. So what's gonna happen here? So Madhav's definitely gonna bingo. I don't think there's a bingo through the M. There are a bunch of bingos through the I. I think there's a Lavatera through the A, but it's not going to fit. That A is an awkward place for Lavatera. It's type of flower, type of plant, if I'm not mistaken. Lavatera. There's nothing through the M. I don't think so. Is Biscoff a word? Nope, it's actually a brand name. I was just thinking whether there was a Q took through there. Ooh, that's a very, very aggressive move there. I don't know what he's hoping for there, Tacha. Kravitz. Yep, that's a nice move. He doesn't allow his opponent to get the last lane there. Panupal can't make use of that last lane, even though there are no H's left. Yeah, so that's not going to happen. So Madhav's having a comfortable lead, but obviously Panupal has come back with the folding hook. Right, what's happening here? Vegan's got a very promising rack, but he hasn't got a bingo. What could he do here with this to give himself a best chance of bingoing maybe in the subsequent turn? Is that a good scoring opportunity? I don't think so. I don't think that's even a good scoring opportunity. You could play Pep. Is there a bonus for Harshan? No, no bonuses to the V. IO data definitely parallel to that scoff, but maybe Harshan's a bit. He's a bit hesitant because Thatcher just played 2 tiles, so he doesn't want to give him all of those nice openings to play through, creating a bingo lane and also the floaters. Pap. Is Pap there? Pap here is very dangerous. Pap here is also very dangerous. Yep, maybe is a very good move. Panupal is still a bonus behind. He's still definitely not out of the game. There are lots of openings here. Lots can happen on this board. He definitely needs to get rid of his MIT. Ooh, he's gone for Pape. That's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. I don't know why he lost that E. Oh, he's all gone for tile turnover. I can see what he's done there. He's gone for tile turnover. But now, Margaret, whose move is it now? Josh is going to get a huge score there. He's going to score close to 50, 60 points even. That was a very risky move. Maybe he should have done Pep. Or very difficult to say. Maybe Pep there would have been better because this is going to kill him now. Even without the S, Dave's going to get killed. No, I'm sorry. Josh is going to Josh's game's going to be. That's the end of Josh there. Well, still 2 blanks to come. So it's very difficult to Josh to mount a comeback now. He's got Fire Dog, but he just took his place down there. In time, such a nice 6-letter word. It doesn't take an S definitely. Wow, such a lovely 6-letter word. Gives you a lot of motivation to study these 6-letter words with words like these. Very nice word, in time, by Panupal. So good tile turnover there. He could have been tempted to play MIT somewhere, hooking onto something somewhere, but he went for tile turnover, which I think is the correct move. Very good move. Get up, I think, is the move here. Harsha needs to play. Get up is a bit. Ooh, it exposes the board a bit, but Thatcher's really under the cosh here. I mean, he really is under the cosh. So Harshan actually forwent his bonus. He could have played Iodated, but probably thought the board's going to be blasted open, and he thought he's not going to play Iodated. I wonder whether he missed it. I don't think he would have missed it, so he forwent Iodated intentionally. So the get up was actually Thatcher's rack. So Harshan's played Ox. Thatcher's really under the cosh now. Thatcher does have the U. So Thatcher's blasting the board open here with these letters. Harshan has picked up the blank that he still had. He could have gone for Iodated few moves ahead, but that probably was very tactical. These are the type of moves I was explaining to my students, that players don't always make these moves because they're just too afraid that the board's going to get too volatile too quickly, especially with in a very tense situations. They will actually forego bingos that potentially open up lanes. So it's a very interesting play by Harshan. He could have easily played Iodated there, but he didn't. Yeah, even Toadied was there. Even outdid it. All these moves just blast open the board. Maybe even outdated here would have been an option, but he actually thought, no, I'm going to hold that blank. I was telling this to my students recently. See what's happening elsewhere. In time, such a lovely six-letter word. Ooh, that's really interesting. So there is a go B opportunity and low B opportunity with that play from Madhav, low B and go B. But there's only one G, so he's gone for it. But he's turned over lots of tiles. It's very interesting play by Dave. It's just go for broke. Oh my gosh. Is that a he can get clarinet through the C, cilantro. Any other bonuses if he picks up another vowel? that's about it. It's a very interesting move by Dave to go for broke at that moment. Probably he's just still reeling from that last game that he lost from against David Elder. So he's still reeling from that loss, and so he's probably not thinking correct. Yeah, even that Pep move was slightly suspect. Zouave. Okay. So Madhav's definitely in the driver's seat, but things can take a turn for the worse for Madhav. Now, Panupal can really bring down that lead to. Could he play Trunk? Is Trunk worth playing using that blank? Ooh, this is even better, Rockiest. So Panupal's now jumped ahead. Ooh, I didn't think anything would fit there, but good spot, Rockiest. Yeah, so Dave's picked up the use. Yeah, so Dave's really reeling, probably reeling from the game that he had before because he that was a championship deciding game, and there were a couple of poor moves there. Even he didn't have to go for broke at that moment, especially with the blank unseen, two blanks unseen. Even a flutter came after KI, so that was probably not the wisest thing to do. He didn't have to go for broke there. Even the Pep move is highly suspect. So I really not worth following this game anymore. Um, So there's Lampion for whoever's holding this rack here. So it's Tacha is going to play Lampion somewhere. Pilotman. Pilotman is good, isn't it? Pilotman. Yep. Palamino. Palamino. Hmm. Is that good? Yeah. Palomino is also good with the. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. He, Pilotman. Yeah, he's played Pilotman. So Tacha's back in the game, but Harshan's got the blank. He's going to play Virtues with Bukes. Yeah, yeah, no point following this game now. This has gotten really interesting. So Madhav's just played Ope, and he's back on the lead only by 4. Oh my gosh. Like I mentioned, that but the only way that hook was going to be utilized is through the G, unless the blank was going to be substituted for an L. Now Panupal has the perfect opportunity for that G hook. All Panupal has to do now, even if he plays 2 tiles somewhere, Panupal can still win in multiple ways. He could outscore him, or Panupal can hope to get a bingo here, which he has every chance of achieving that, because those letters are very synergic for bingo. So Panupal is actually going to beat probably Madhav. It's probably going to beat him. All he needs to do is dump his probably the R, definitely hang on to the G because that's what's going to make the ing hook. Maybe hang on to the play the R and the T because that probably has lots of bingos ending with ing than the R rings. Sting probably has more bingos ending with the ing. Yep, virtues. Like I mentioned, so that's probably game over for Tacha. Tacha's had a very good run. It's very unfortunate for him to have lost this game. Whoa, he's gone for the ST. Yeah, he's trying to win both ways. He could potentially win with the Joe Gobi, potentially outscore him as well. So he's keeping all options alive. Um, RT, he wouldn't have scored him much, but with this move, Panupal has multiple ways of winning, not just with the bingo. So really, he's putting Madhav. Madhav's probably going to wonder: was that just for score, or was that a bingo attempt? Endemic. Is that a place for endemic? So Madhav's gone and done white. Ooh, Madhav had a very awkward pickup. Ooh, poor Madhav. He's picked up all the eyes. Oh no, Madhav's gonna lose this one. Whether Panupal's gonna bingo or not. Now Panupal's picked up all the consonants, but oh, it's a very made move, ready-made move there. Madhav does have a bonus. Yeah, Madhav's bad pickup. It's it's such a turnaround. Rockiest just brought Panupal right back into the game. Right back into the game. That's a 100 point move, 100 point bingo. Came storming back with that bonus. No point following this game. Um, this one too. Yeah, Tacha's options of winning this game are very slim. Chance of winning this game is are very slim. Yeah, Madhav had a very awkward pickup. Very awkward pickup, Madhav. After he played Ope, Madhav must be reeling after that move. Such a shame. Such a great competitor, but he's probably going to end up out of the top 10, maybe 8th or ninth with this loss. Yeah, I don't see a way for Thatcher to win this game now. Now, if Harshan could block this, I think Buked. Is Buked good? Ooh, I'm not too sure. Is Buked good? I don't know. But if you can somehow block this lane, I think that's game over. Almost game over for Thatcher. Barring anything crazy. If you can block this lane there. Ooh. He's kept that open still. Touches almost on a bonus there. Touches almost on a bonus. Oh no, it was actually, I'm getting confused. The tiles are turned. Hold on. So touch has gone for that. So he had lots of vowels. It's a very good spot, Tiara. Um, Now this is Harshan's. Jotted. Yeah, Harshan just needs to do jotted. It is going to give him that D floater below on that 15 row 15. Harshan just needs to jotted. Still an outside chance for Tacha. Ooh, Madhav's really, yeah, he really has no hope now. Madhav, nothing he can do to win this game. Madhav, that's the lost cause. Let's see if I can comment on another video, another live game. Let's look at Nigel's game. Has Nigel done a out bingo? Ooh, Nigel's done an out bingo and won that game. Let's see how this all panned out. So what's been done here is actually he's done a Nigel, mind the pun. This is the exact same move Nigel did about 15 years ago on the finals of about 18 years ago, finals of World Scrabble Championships. He had a very similar situation. He played Avo, hang on to a Z, hoping to make use of those double letter squares either side of the vowels next to the V. He's done a Nigel here. Ben's done a Nigel. Nigel must be chuckling to himself. So he actually didn't go for the X move. Oh, that's interesting. He's already getting a good score there. Lens. Now he's going to do the X move. Is he going to do the X move? Yeah, he is. Okay, Nigel hits him back with that Z move. Vamplet. Such a nice word by Nigel Richards. Critic. Again, it's a nice move by Ben. Actually, that's a very good move. Offie. Foy. Foy, that's it. Writing, orbiting. Yep, orbiting, that's it. Nerf. So Nigel's only behind by about 38. Dead. So Nigel's now only behind by 3. Raja, such a nice spot. Triskill by Nigel. So game's actually not over. I thought the game was over by then. So Ben just exchanged. So Ben really now has to bingo if he has any chance of winning this game. He picked up some awful letters. Nigel's played. Did Nigel have to do that? Did Nigel have to do that? Surely he could have played something somewhere else with that Q. Oh, he really didn't have to play that. Why did they give him that? But then there's another floating, an open lane of the sea. So maybe, yeah, okay. That's Che balls. Okay. Nigel's going to win still. I think he probably would have calculated that even if he bingos, he has enough to with the Q to win this game anyways. Ooh, they're still on this move. Tacha's not going. Harshan's not moving forward with this move. Yeah, that's a crazy comeback by Panupal. That was a crazy comeback. Yep. So Nigel's going to win. He's probably calculated everything out and seen that even if the worst possible bingo is played, he's going to still win with the Q. It would be interesting to know if what if Ben played the bingo along Rusty? Would that given him a chance of winning this? But then that gives QI. I mean, Nigel just doing QI wins him the game, doesn't it? Yeah, because he's going to get 10 points less. Yeah, Nigel just doing QI, even absolve, but he's got Q there. He's got quad there anyway. Yeah, so Nigel's probably thought it through. Yep, another Nigel masterclass there. Ooh, he's still on this move. Tacha. Let's see how things stand right now. So David Wiegand probably, yeah, he didn't play his best. He should have really fought a bit more there, but yeah, he's just, yeah, when he played that KI move, yeah, that's a fairly average move there. Especially with two blanks unseen from his point of view. Yeah, this game's just lurching onto its conclusion. Has anyone played something? Yeah, Vegan has promising letters, but there's nothing you can. Oh wow, that's an amazing spot by Vegan. There's no way Vegan's going to win this one, but that's a nice spot. All right, that's a nice spot. There's no way Vegan's going to win this one. Such a shame. If he had just thought a bit more about those two moves, Pape and KI. Yeah, Harshan's won this easy. Harshan's won this easy. Some wrong tiles are being typed out. I don't know what's going on with the staff there. I saw a different set of tiles being typed out here. Never mind. Gosh, Tasha had the 9 time of a joystick. It wasn't played. Okay, so that's a foregone conclusion too. That's an amazing play by Wiegand. Nothing much to say, folks. I think the games have reached their logical end. Um, let's look at other games probably that we could commentate on. The first three I'm commentating on currently. Any other interesting games? Wonder what Napat's games up to as well. What? Hello, who's this? Hello, hi there. Who's this? Oops, sorry, somebody joined the call. I just thought maybe they would want to. Zeitz? Is that a mistype? Is that a word? Is that like CSW24 or something? What's what's going on here? Somebody's not doing their job probably. Um, okay, Zeitz, it is then. There's definitely some mistake there by the staff. Postured. Okay, so Jason's okay. Game's almost over at this point, unless something. Jason's got his third bonus. Okay, that's it. So Jason's won the game within the first four moves of his 5 moves. He's got three bonuses. One, two, three, four bonuses in a space of 6 moves. Yeah, there's nothing Napat could do there. Dura is actually a nice setup by Napat because he hung on to this H when he played the Dura, hoping to get a big bingo. That's a very nice setup. You almost had him, but didn't quite materialize. If he had picked up something like Handier, that would have been very interesting. Very nice setup by Napat there. Can't believe they've in with a shout. Oh my gosh. Why did he play Squiz? Why is he giving him chances? He shouldn't have played Squiz. But he knows his letters. Okay, so there's no risk of a bingo. So Weekend actually came within 40 points of Josh's score. That's really interesting. I thought the game was long gone when he played KI. So fair play to Wigan for still hanging on in there. But it's definitely Josh's game. Yeah, after Josh played a flutter, there's no chance of Wigan winning that game. So there we go. I think all the games are done, pretty much done. Let's see how the standings are gonna look. Yep, Panupal's. Oh my gosh, Panupal jumped all the way to second. Ooh, such a big turnaround. Oh well, either Dave, well, Dave or Josh's scores haven't been still submitted. So definitely, um, yeah, there's a bit of a change there. And Harshan's score hasn't been submitted as yet. So Harshan could potentially end up second. Um, that's really interesting. No, Harshan, yeah, Harshan's going to potentially end up second. Yeah, he's going to be second because of his superior spread. Uh, yeah, Harshan's going to be second, and Josh Castellano is going to be third because of his no. Josh Castellano is going to be fourth because Panupal has a better spread than him. So Elder first, Harshan, such an amazing comeback. He was down in the doldrums, like not in the doldrums, but for his level, he was hovering between 30 and 50 for the majority of the tournament. And within the last 10, 15 games, last 10 games, he sprung up. Very well done, Harshan. Very well done. Well, me and Harshan go a long way back. He's actually Sri Lankan originally, and then he ended up in the UK. Um, so Harshan's going to be second, Panupal's third, and Josh Castellano is going to be third, and fourth is going to be Dave Vegan. And you can't keep this guy awake. You can't keep this guy outside. Nigel's going to be fifth. Nigel's always going to be in the mix. He's never out of the scene. Never out of the scene, Nigel. But two Indians in the top 10. That's nice to see. Madhav really not quite justified there that eighth position, final position. He really should have ended up in the top five, based on how he was performing right through the tournament. But that's how life goes. He will still have loads of opportunities. Such a young boy, he will have 40, at least 40, 50 years of Scrabble left in him. All right, so that was an interesting tourney, won by David Eldar. Second place is Harshan Lama Bodhisuriya, even though he's currently seventh. After his results get entered, he's going to jump all the way to second place. Number three is going to be Panupal, and Dave Vegan. Joshua is going to be four, and Dave Vegan is actually going to be fifth. Dave Vegan is going to be fifth because he's not. He's better at Nigel's spread, and then Nigel's going to be sixth. Thatcher's going to be seventh. Yeah, Thatcher's going to be seventh. Yeah, so Dave Vegan's actually fifth. So Nigel quite hasn't made the top five, but these are the top brass of World Scrabble in general. Like compared to what happened in the WSC, I mean, that's just a drop in the not exactly a drop in the ocean. Only a fraction of the players who took part in the who played here took part in the WSC. This is actually the unofficial World Scrabble Championships, based on the number of players who are ranked within the top 150 in the WESPA. If you look at the official Scrabble ratings, if you look at the top 150 players, I reckon the 88 players or the 86 players who played here are all within the top 120 or 140 even, which is really what should be the actual World Scrabble Championships. If there should be a global Scrabble event or an official global Scrabble event, that should contain all of the players or majority of the players. Unfortunately for the World Championship, that wasn't the case. I would say only about 20% in the world top 100 played the World Scrabble Championships. So this is in fact the unofficial World Scrabble Championships, and David Elder has come up tops, and Harshan number two. Very good comeback by Harshan in the end to have won a majority of his games in his last 12, 13 rounds to end up number two. Very well done, Harshan. Yep. So all the games have been, yeah, all the games are concluded except for a couple of games. Well, they've entered the games, the scores there. So that's pretty much it. So, an amazing tournament. Kudos to Michael Tang for organizing this and the Thai Scrabble Association. I bid my adieu right now. I got stuff to do. So, it was really interesting and exciting for me to have commentated on these games. Hopefully, you'll join my online events. I got free classes, I got free tournaments, plus interviews, commentaries like this for you to join during the weekend. Go check Google's or drop me a line wherever you are on Facebook or Insta or YouTube if you've seen this video. Drop me an email or get my hold of my WhatsApp. Send me a message. But join my events definitely here on Google's. But that's it from me. All the very best. See you guys soon.